Hi everyone, Basecamp here. Really excited about this guest that we have on our episode. His name, if you can't tell, is Nick Fowler. He FKT'd the self-supported for the PCT last year. You guys, he came out of nowhere. So, before we get started, I really wanted to just do every single one of his days. I'm going to dissect them with all of you because when I read it, I was like, holy shit, this guy is insane. So, insane in a good way, but wild. So everyone, this is just to give you an explanation. So this is 2,653 miles. And this guy, Nick Fowler, has decided that he is going to FKT the PCT southbound. And when you FKT, you have to record, you have to record your miles, and they do want to know details. So if you read an FKT report, this is what you're going to read. Day 1, 50 miles. Puking my guts out at mile 49 and took an hour to make it to mile 50 before giving up for the day. What a way to start the FKT. Day 2, 53 miles. Day 3, 53 miles. Stopped wearing my shorts to have less layers that would need to dry in order to prevent chafing. I finished the rest of the PCT just wearing underwear. Holy shit. Day 4, 50 miles. Day 5, 53 miles. I lost my food bag with 44 miles to go till Snoqualmie. Only had 600 calories on me to make it that 44 miles. Day 6, 53 miles. Day 7, 53 miles. Lost my headlamp. Day 8, 55 miles. Helped a girl cross the glacier melt stream in Mount Adams as she feared for her safety. Previous 2 hikers turned her down. Was rewarding to know I was willing to pause my FKT to help someone. She didn't even know who I was. I don't think I'm that selfless. I don't think I've helped anyone else the rest of the trip. Day 9, 55 miles. Day 10, 53 miles. Day 11, 57 miles. Day 12, 55 miles. Day 13, 55 miles. Day 14, 55 miles. Day 15, 55 miles. Day 16, 55 miles. Day 17, 57 miles. Day 18, 56 miles. This is when it really gets good. Day 19, 56 miles. Only got 3 hours of sleep the next 4 days to make sure I'd make it to Bernie Falls before they closed. Day 20, 56 miles. Nightmares of falling asleep while walking, and then just deciding to sleep where I fell on steep inclines with tons of roots, then to wake up and realize I'm on flat ground. Day 21, 56 miles. Hallucinating coolers full of pop in the back country. Day 22, 59 miles. I crossed paths with Carol Saab. He had 2 pacers shuttling him cans of pop. Day 23, 53 miles. Day 24, 53 miles. Day 25, 53 miles. Day 26, 53 miles. Day 27, 51 miles. I woke up puking at 3 a.m. Dizzy spells throughout the day. Started falling upwards of 20 times a day from here on out. Holy shit. Day 28, 51 miles. Day 29, 52 miles. Day 30, 51 miles. Finally got another headlamp at Donner Ski Ranch. Okay, pause. He hasn't had a headlamp like that for this entire time. Okay, unpause. Blister on pinky toe, so nasty I thought I might lose it to gangrene for a couple of days. Might not ever grow a toenail on that toe again. In parentheses, it's attempting to grow back a year later, but it's ugly as hell. Close parentheses. Day 31, 47 miles. Red to dark brown urine, plus thought I broke my kneecap on a fall. Ugh. Okay. Day 32, 47 miles. Red urine plus pulled a quad. Can't even squat to take a poo. Oh, God. Day 33, 43 miles. Red urine. Stopped early trying to give my body a reset. Day 34, 47 miles. Broke a trekking pole in creek crossing. Day 35, 31 miles. Hurricane Hillary, in parentheses, hid it in a cave for nearly 40 hours. Close parentheses. Day 36, 0 miles. Hurricane Hillary, still in the cave. Day 37, 36 miles. Hurricane Hillary exited the cave. Streams difficult to cross. I'm swept downstream in one and lose my footing, getting completely soaked in 3 more throughout the day, ending up soaking wet just as the sun is setting. Ugh, gosh, that's the worst. Day 38, 53 miles. Day 39, 52 miles. Red urine came back. Day 40, 50 miles. Red urine plus lost my remaining trekking pole. Day 41, 50 miles. Day 42, 53 miles. Day 43, 50 miles. Day 44, 47 miles. Hands and fingers locking up from the heat. Can't clip my backpack straps and struggling to open water bottle lids. Day 45, 50 miles. Got a hemorrhoid, likely from dehydration. That stayed with me the remaining 400 miles. Lost my spare underwear. That's a bummer. Day 46, 51 miles. Drank water from a trash can. Oh, damn. You were dehydrated. Day 47, 53 miles. Current underwear so salty and crunchy, I decided to rinse them out and hang them on my pack to dry while walking naked for 15 miles. I realized there's a giant hole in them on the butt. Day 48, 47 miles. Went through Mission Creek in the dark, in the rain, with a whiteout fog. Trail is completely gone and wiped out. The trail would disappear at a cliff where it washed out. I'd climb down the cliffs in my $1 emergency poncho with the fresh earth crumbling under my fingers. I fell more times than I can remember. Eventually, I couldn't see where to go, so I gave up and just slept in the rain with no way to pitch my tarp since I don't have trekking poles anymore. Was soaking wet all night long. Quilt is wet the remainder of the trip as I didn't take the time to dry it out. Holy fucking shit. Okay, day 49. 51 miles. Day 50, 50 miles. Day 51, 45 miles. I stopped at 8:30 p.m. because my feet hurt. One of my biggest regrets out there. Stopped so early, so close to the finish. Day 52, 53 miles. Tried to make up for my regrets by starting before 2 a.m. Was so tired, I took 3 trail naps and stopped by 9:30 p.m. Day 53, 52 and a half miles. Was all I could do to just walk. If even the smallest rock presented itself on the trail, I'd trip. My hands became bloody from catching myself on the falls. When I approached the terminus, Hannah, his wife, ran to me with her arms open. We hugged, we paused, and then I realized I wasn't done yet. So I pushed her out of the way and hobbled over to touch the monument, then turned back to Hannah. We hugged, and I cried on her shoulder. I was done.
Well, hello.
Hi.
How goes it?
Good.
We have here on our podcast, some of you may or may not know this guy. His name is Nick Fowler. I'll give you like 2 seconds to think if you've ever heard that name before.
1, 2.
Nick Fowler. Welcome to the podcast. We're so glad to have you on here. And, you know, these are special circumstances because you're about to be a dad. And I'll let you talk about that a little bit if you want to. But yeah.
Why would I not want to?
Hey, I think it's a great thing. And you showed us the baby room already, and it looks amazing.
Dude, you can't see this on the podcast, but it's truly maybe the most epic baby room I've ever seen.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. You see that little cubby where they can like climb up and hang out?
Oh, yeah. Y'all can't see this, but half the room is basically a climbing wall. It's pretty epic.
With a partial overhang.
Yes, of course.
I mean, you can't have a climbing wall without a partial overhang.
No, you can't.
But yeah, Nick, it's great to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully this is entertaining and I don't bore people.
Oh, I think it's going to be a super entertaining episode, especially when we get to the drink of the choice. Just that alone. Yeah, great rationale.
I did want to say, I don't even know, it might even be in the question set. Sorry. I was sick, and Nick has been gracious enough to reschedule us like a million times. And with the last time we were supposed to talk with him, I was like uber sick and was like choking on phlegm, so I couldn't talk. I'm still recovering, actually. But Nick, do you have a trail name?
I do. It's DJ. Desert Jesus.
Desert Jesus.
Yeah.
That was a great
I
question.
feel revival.
That's question number 2. You can tell she hasn't
Sorry,
looked
see,
over
I'm
the question set. So yeah, let's start off with that. Nick, your trail name is Desert Jesus. Would you please explain how you got that?
Yeah. So like, I feel like there's like a long version and a short version.
Long version, please.
Long version. We can always cut, but
okay. So I didn't get Desert Jesus until my 3rd big thru hike. I had a few other people give me like other trail names, like, but it never felt right because it wasn't from the trail. It was like people were trying to give me names back home after hearing like what I had done on trail, but it never felt right. Like I wanted to be genuine from the trail. Like I think like one person had called me Buff because I was caught hiking in the Buff. One person wanted to call me Flash because I flashed people. But again, those were people back home, not actually on the trail. But then eventually on the Hayduke Trail, I was ending a 70-mile section that I had no water reports on. And it was my own alternate that I had made up. Like I had a pack raft and some technical canyoneering gear with me. And I'm ending the 70-mile water carry, and I see cars in the distance, like in the middle of nowhere, flat desert. And I'm like, oh, they might have some water, car campers.
Yeah.
So I'm approaching them thinking it's going to be like a 10-minute conversation. And next thing I know, I'm hanging out with them all day. I'm taking them canyoneering. I'm showing them local routes. I end up camping with them, slacklining with them. They already had a Nick in their group. And so I became Desert Nick. And then slowly, as the night progressed, I became Desert Jesus.
That is amazing.
And I guess it was just because my hair was down, and I walked up out of the middle of nowhere desert wearing sandals. And
40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah.
Did you have the dreads back then?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Sorry to ruin the questions, but that was like, I've been curious.
Desert Jesus. Do you prefer Nick or Desert Jesus or DJ?
DJ.
I don't care.
That's fair. That's
okay.
fair.
Maybe I'll say all 3 at once. Nick, DJ, Desert Jesus. Tell us. No, I'm kidding.
No, but that's
not very efficient.
No, it's not.
No, but that's a good segue because when you need water, you have a drink of the choice. So let's all talk about our drink of the choice.
Sure. I'll go through mine first. I have, yes, it is August, the middle of August right now, and I'm drinking a porter from Verboten, which is out of Loveland, Colorado. There's no season that doesn't warrant a dark beer. Maybe not an imperial stout right now, since it's like peaking in the 90s, and it's like 105 back in Georgia, where I'm from, which is crazy to me because it's never that hot. But anyways, yes, lovely porter style beer from Verboten. What about you?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
Or okay. I am drinking a Sangiovese Rubicon red wine. It was only $5.99 at the Target. I was super stoked because honestly, I've been to Italy 4 times now probably in my life and studied at vineyards. And Sangiovese, I think, is a very hidden gem of a grape. And so when I saw it, I was like, this is a steal. $5.99? Like that's probably how much it would have been in Italy.
Seriously.
So I was pretty excited about that. And it's just a nice little, got a little bit of pop, got a little bit of dark, a little bit of earthy flavor to it, which is nice. So I was kind of happy to find it.
Do you remember when Target started selling alcohol? Because I have no idea when that happened, but all of a sudden they have like wine, beer, and I'm just looking for liquor next. Who knows when that's going to happen?
When Colorado finally lets it happen.
That depends on the state.
I was about to say, when Colorado finally says, yes, you may have liquor, then I think they'll all have liquor.
Then the floodgates open.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Nick, what is your drink of the choice? I think it's better than ours.
I was actually just about to say, how am I supposed to top what you guys just did? Like, are they paying you? Those were great advertisements.
They definitely are not. But if you
I don't know. I felt like we just bonded over the $5.99 wine.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome.
Cheap is where it's at. So I originally was planning on having a Trail Magic beer by Cabin Boys Brewery. I feel like should probably make a statement with this liquid of choice. And then I was like, if it was actually my drink of choice, I would probably have a Dr. Pepper. And then I realized if I was going to stay true to who I am, I would not buy anything, and I would just use what I had in my pantry. So I'm having tea.
What kind of tea is it?
Hibiscus.
Ooh,
Nice.
hibiscus. Isn't that like a calming tea?
I don't know.
If nothing else, it's
It
floral
tastes
and
good.
fresh.
Well, cheers,
Yeah.
everyone.
Cheers. We recently interviewed these two hikers. One is named Jedi, but the other guy is from the UK, and his name is Cuppa, as in like cup of tea. So he would definitely appreciate your drink of the choice here.
Okay. All right.
He
Yeah.
loves, obsessed with tea. Yes.
He is. I feel like you just told us a little bit about who Nick/DJ is based on your drink of the choice here. But like, really, who the heck are you, and what's your backpacking experience? Would you mind just giving us a brief little deep dive into who you are?
I'm mostly just a nobody who's obsessed with the West.
That might be the best tagline
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
Wait, for you, what state starts the West?
The Rockies.
The Rockies.
Start the
Okay.
West. Yeah. I mean, like, Eastern Colorado is east.
Yep.
Western Colorado is west.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I first fell in love with Montana, Washington, Wyoming, Utah, Arizona, Oregon, California, Colorado. Not so much New Mexico.
Kind of hot
Yeah.
in New Mexico.
Yeah, and I think I've been spoiled.
Yeah.
Like how do you beat Washington? How do you beat Utah?
I mean,
You don't.
you don't. Washington's beautiful. If you can tolerate being wet a lot, Washington is where it's at.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, so what is?
Bring-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I interrupted.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just was bringing back. I mean, memories. Yeah, I've been rained on a lot in Washington.
Yeah. What is your backpacking experience, Nick, for those listening so they know what you've done?
Like 4 or 5 years ago, I got into day hikes and then fell in love with big mile days. And then it just made more sense to start backpacking because you can go further. So I have my first thru hike was the Pacific Northwest Trail. It was also my first FKT.
Mm.
I've done the Bigfoot Trail, the Ozark Trail, Arizona Trail, Hayduke Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, and some sections of the CDT.
Oh my
Quite a bit of
gosh.
canyoneering.
Okay. You said your first FKT. How many FKTs do you have?
4. Oh, I've also done the Oregon Coast Trail. Yeah.
Did you FKT that one too?
Yes.
I actually was watching on Instagram when you did it, and then you were done with it, and I was like, wait, he didn't just like go out and do like 15-mile days. Like he was. I was like, oh, he's done. I like blinked and you were done.
Pretty much.
That was a beautiful trail, though. I mean, I saw a whale. I saw bald eagles. The closest I've ever been to a bald eagle before. Those things are monsters.
Oh
Yeah.
my
It
god.
could probably take me off the ground.
It definitely could. I feel like bald eagles are basically pterodactyls shrunk down.
That's probably the best description I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just bald.
Wesley's obsessed with eagles.
They're so cool looking. And when
Oh.
you see one swoop in, you know that it knows it owns that terrain. Like it is the master of its own kingdom. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. Oh my gosh.
They are.
Yeah, that's one of my problems on FKTs is sights. Like I'll slow down for the eagle, I'll slow down for the bear, I'll slow down for the starfish, the sea urchins, the sea caves. I mean, if there's a cave,
Yeah.
I'm going in the cave. Like,
As you should, right?
yeah. In fact, today is actually my cave anniversary of the PCT.
Okay.
So on the PCT, I don't even know where to begin. That's a lot to unfold. All I've been doing today is reflecting on the cave. But I realized that on every FKT I've ever been on, I've been in a cave. Most of the time, it's like a fun, like little side hike exploration, like little side quest. like, hey, I'm just going to go run into here like 2 minutes, 5 minutes and be right back out.
Yeah.
But on the PCT, I actually had to hide in a cave from a hurricane.
Yes.
For like nearly 40 hours.
I remember reading this on your FKT blog or your dialogue thing that you did for the FKT. I was reading it and I was like, holy shit.
I don't like that cave. I have a lot of regrets from that cave. Before this call, I was like, they better put me in a good mood because I'm not in a good mood right now.
Okay.
I had a lot of regrets from that cave. I mean, it slowed my FKT down by 39 hours.
Yeah.
And
Jeez.
I question if it was the right decision to stop. I mean, it was great. Like, I mean, there was the morning that the hurricane came in, there was a ranger posted up at a trail junction warning all hikers to get off trail. Like, and she's like, "Are you aware of the storm that's coming?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a tropical storm. There's going to be some rain, yada, 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 whoop, whoop." And she's like, "No, you have to get off trail. Everyone has to get off. It's not going to be safe in the High Sierra. There's going to be rockfall, flooding. The creeks aren't going to be passable." And I'm like, well, you don't know what I've been through. I'm not stopping. Like I thought I was going to lose my toe to gangrene 2 days ago. Like I've been pissing blood for the last 3 days. I tore my quad. I'm not stopping. And she's like, oh, so you're already depleted. And I'm like, I'm extremely depleted. She's like, everything I just said is going to be worse. And she's like, what type of rain gear do you have? And I'm like, I have a $1 emergency poncho and a 4.7 ounce tarp.
Oh.
And she's like, you're going to get hypothermia. You're going to press the SOS button on your inReach, and they're not even going to be able to come save you because of the hurricane. And I'm like, well, I'm not stopping. And at this point, like, the hurricane isn't even phasing me. I'm just like, what do you do? Just walk through it. Like, I've walked through quite a few storms before. And then later that afternoon, as I was, up above the tree line near Mather Pass in the High Sierra, that's when I started to feel the pressure change, and like the storm started moving the clouds started moving in a different way. And I'm like, oh crap, this is not just your afternoon rain shower. This is a storm that's coming. What do I do? And so, long story short, I ended up hiding in a cave for 39 hours. The cave closed off, the entrance closed off with a waterfall. There was so much rain water that the rain, it started raining inside the cave from groundwater seeping in. So I had to pitch my tarp inside the cave. There was a spot where it looked like another human had made a bathroom area. So it was kind of gross. There was a rat that ate some of my gear. I had to survive on rations because I didn't know how long the storm was going to last. And I had to make sure I had enough calories to get to Canadian Meadows South. So I only ate 600 calories a day while I was in there. And I had to poop in my food bag 3 times so I wouldn't have to leave the cave during the storm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My mouth is agape. What? Whoa, you're such a badass. You're a BAMF. No, that's what we call him.
BAMF. Badass.
I would love to go to BAMF.
Yeah. Definitely. Us too. One day Calgary will happen. What do you think it is about caves in your FKT? Have you reflected on that and thought about if there's some connection?
I like exploring. And I mean, every other cave I went into was just pure fun. Like, I'm just going to bounce in here real quick and I'll be right back out. And so this is a misconception that I think a lot of people get. Like, people don't understand, why do you hike so fast?
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand how much I enjoy it. I feel like I get to see more of outside by hiking for longer hours.
Interesting.
Like, there's more animals that come out at night and at early morning and, at dusk. So I get to have more bear encounters. I get to have, I had my first bear charge me on the PCT. That was actually pretty awesome. Yeah.
Which area?
Just south of Snoqualmie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't the one grizzly of Washington, was it?
No.
Okay.
No. I wouldn't get that close to a grizzly.
Yeah.
I might be stupid, but I'm not that stupid.
Good man.
Wow.
Whenever we do ultra races, and we've only done a handful of 30-mile hiking days, but whenever we do ultras, when we start to hit around 30, 35 miles, I feel like we start talking to Jesus or talking to our dead loved ones or things like that, hallucinating. Do you experience that when you're doing 50 plus mile days? And if so, at what mile?
Normally, no. I've only hallucinated once. And at the time, I didn't even know what I was hallucinating. It wasn't until I had conversations with people after the PCT that I realized I was hallucinating. So I was averaging like 55 miles a day through Oregon and Northern California. But when I got to Northern California and I resupplied in Sayad Valley, I did the math to get to Bernie Falls State Park, which was my next resupply. And I realized that if I maintained my pace of 55, 56 miles per day, I wasn't going to make it in time. And my original plan was to actually slow down once I got to Northern California because it's a little bit harder than Oregon. But then I realized if I do that, then I'm going to lose like a half a day because I'm going to get to Bernie Falls like an hour after they close and I'll have to wait till the next morning when they open up. So I had to average 57 miles a day. Ended up doing one of those days with a 59, but I only slept for 3 hours a night for 4 days in a row. And I was already getting tired. I mean, I was doing 53 a day through Washington, 55, 56, 57 through Oregon. I'm getting tired. And then when I only got 3 hours of sleep a night, man, I wanted a cold soda so bad. I ended up hallucinating coolers full of pop in the backcountry. I'm like, dude, this trail angel freaking hiked a cooler full of pop all the way freaking back here. I love them. Oh my God. And I go open the lid and it's a boulder, you know? And that happened several times.
That has to be the worst type of hallucination. You're getting your hopes up for the pop and it's just not there. Dang, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I already have so many questions for you before we even get into the questions that you created, but do you FKT because you just enjoy, like you just said it, you enjoy being out there, but do you have this mindset of like, I'm going to FKT, or is it more just like, I just want to be out here and I'm just going to go balls to the wall. I'm just going to barge through and do it. I don't know, like, is your mindset starting out, I am going to do this, or is it more just, let's see what happens?
When on the it's definitely, and for an FKT, you have to start with the mindset of an FKT because they're getting so stout nowadays that if you don't have that mindset right from the get go, you're not going to set something respectable. I mean, so I'm weird. So I think like once the mind conforms, it can't really conform back. And the same thing with the body. Like once you've pushed it to a certain limit, it's a lot easier to hit there again. Like after a year of hiking, like 14 miles was like my max. And I was so proud of myself. I'm like, I can hike 14 miles. I'm so hardcore. And then I wanted to touch a couple glaciers in Glacier National Park. Like not just see them, but touch them. But I didn't know how to read maps. I had a $20 Walmart backpack. I didn't know what a water filter was. And so I go out there thinking that this is going to be a 22-mile hike. Like, oh, this is way more than I've ever done before, but I'm going to touch a couple glaciers. It'll be worth it. Well, again, I didn't know how to read maps. So it ended up being 32 miles. And my legs hurt so bad the next day, I couldn't walk. But then the day after that, I was like, that was awesome. I mean, it was like the closest I'd ever been to moose before. I had, like a mountain goat, like follow me for like a mile. Just placing your hand on like a 40-foot tall sheer wall of ice is so liberating. Like just frees you like from the shackles of society, if you will. And so then I was like, okay, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to hike big miles. Then the next month I hiked the Teton Crest Trail in a day. So 42 miles in a day. That was the worst my legs have ever hurt. What's interesting is I think my legs, like my shins and my calves, hurt more on the 42 miles than they ever did on the PCT.
Really?
Except for when I tore my quad. And the only other time my hip flexors hurt really bad. I ran 100 miles this past February. I went from couch to 100 miler. Yeah, I couldn't really walk after that. I was the last person to leave the race.
Really?
Like literally, like they packed up and left. Like even the people in the race, they were gone. I was the only one in the parking lot because I couldn't drive.
What race was that?
Yeah, I was gonna ask which race.
Red Dirt Ultra in Louisiana.
Okay.
I've never heard of that, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't an epic and difficult race all at the same time.
No, I mean honestly, it's fairly easy. I mean, it's fairly flat, fairly easy terrain, not very competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to quit. I was in first place for like 60 miles. And I was I was still recovering from the PCT in December.
Okay.
Like I tried to go backpacking in December, and like 10 miles into it, my joints hurt so bad. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to get a hitch back to my car because this isn't working. And then in January, I think I did like maybe 5 canyons.
Okay.
It's like maybe 3 to 5 canyons at a time. And then in February, I ran 100 miles.
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to quit at mile 95. I called the race director and I was like, I'm done. Come pick me up. I'm at this road.
5 miles shy. Jeez.
Yeah. And she's like, Nick, she's like, you're only 5 miles from the end. Think about how much you would regret it if you quit. She's like, you're in 3rd place right now. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm quitting. You don't know how bad I hurt. Like, you know, I did the PCT. You know, I did this. You know, I did that.
Yeah.
And she was like, just take a nap. So I took an hour-long nap, and then I hobbled to the finish line with 2 Styxus trekking poles.
Hell yeah, you did.
Yeah. And then they had to help me put my pants on because I couldn't put my pants on.
I've known many 100-mile racers and the carnage that comes with it. It's amazing.
Did you shit yourself?
I did not.
You did not. Okay.
I have not yet done that, but
I almost did multiple times on a race in Georgia. Don't eat a big bowl of chocolate oatmeal before you start an ultra race. It was horrible.
Oh.
Horrible decision.
Yeah, it was very funny.
What's the big contrast between ultra racing and thru hiking for you? Because they're both effectively races in their own respect, since you're out here doing FKT attempts for thru hikes.
I mean, I do all my FKTs self-supported. So I think the way I do FKTs is really you're self-sufficient. You have to rely on yourself. You can't just push yourself to the point where you can't move anymore. Like you have to make sure that you can survive for the next day. I've had lots of conversations with Josh Perry lately because he did Cocodona 250 and he only slept 90 minutes total.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, dude, I don't know how you do that. Like I want some sleep, at least a little bit. And he keeps trying to convince me that if you're in a controlled environment where you don't have to worry about your own safety, and once you push yourself to that limit once, that you realize it's not as hard as you think it is. And maybe that's another one of those things where like once you expand to that point, you know, and you realize it's not as hard, you know, it's not going to hurt that bad, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I need to do that. I don't know. I just don't want to pay for a race ticket.
Yeah. We've had a few friends do the 250 and the Moab 200 or 240, and they've said very similar things. That it's possible once you've like thought about how you don't have to think about all those needs. You just keep going and someone else is taking care of you and making sure you're putting food in your body and drinking liquids and trying to take a nap and then set a timer and go, okay, wake up. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that was probably our biggest regret is post PCT. Like we were in awesome shape and we did not utilize that fitness and do like 100 or 200 mile race. If we were to try it right now, we definitely wouldn't finish because we're out of PCT shape. But
we're not in 100-mile shape. We almost did the Georgia Jewel. It's a 100-mile race, and we could have done it. We had pacers and everything that could have been with us, and we just didn't do it because of money. You know, you get off the PCT and you're like, well, where do we put our money right now before we're
you broke the
I mean, the race tickets are insanely expensive.
They really
are. The main reason that 100 mile in February is the only race I've ever done. And the only reason I did it was because my friend was the race director and it was going to be the last year for her 100 miler to do it. Okay. And I was like, well, if I'm going to pay for a race ticket to support someone, I want to support her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, some of these 100 milers are, $300, $400.
Yeah.
I just found out Cocodona 250 is like $1,600. And I'm like, dude, you can do the same exact route on non-race day for free, right?
Yeah. Like you better be getting filet mignon at every damn aid station. Come on.
Yeah. No, I hear you too. It's like in ultra race where I told Wesley this, I said, I feel like, and no knock to ultra runners, because I've also been an ultra runner and done ultra
and
races.
I have the most respect for them.
Super mad respect. Yeah. But I do think there's a difference in you pay because you have this life in this world we call the cotton world, where it's like you have to work a 9 to 5 or you work a 9 to 5 job Monday through Friday. And this is like your only outlet because you would be a thru hiker if you would, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they would be a thru hiker if they wanted to take 6 months off, and that's what they would be doing. But instead they do like these hard pushing running miles to get to this 100-mile race where they push their bodies so hard because they get this euphoria and they love it and they go back to it again and again and again. And I really think it's because like we're stuck in a system, in a cogwheel, and ultra runners are just thru hikers that really want to thru hike, but they don't know how to get out of the system. So that's my theory.
Yeah, there's some plausibility to that for sure. I mean, that's what we did before we ever did our first thru hike, because we're working a 9 to 5, and that was kind of like what we would save up for. That was our big outlet, you know?
I mean, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're all part of nature. And, I mean, I've never felt more alive than outside. You know, you said, you know, this cog or this wheel that we're in, you know, I've called, you know, there's some people that call it the rat race. I mean, if we back up, do you guys have any idea what I looked like 5 years ago? No,
I didn't dig that deep.
No.
Okay. I was clean cut, shaved. I wore a suit and tie, short hair. I mean, I was working 50, 60 hours a week, chained to an insurance cubicle, dreaming of freedom, you know, working 20 hours a week on the side and just grinding away. You know, because I had all these dreams and affirmations, and then I fell in love with outside, and like all my priorities completely changed. I don't have any and I don't have anything against like the grind.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, you know, if it weren't for the grind, I wouldn't be able to have the freedom that I have today.
Sure.
But it completely changes, you know, your whole point of view. Like, you don't have to have all that. Like, 50K working for yourself might not be making as much as you would elsewhere, but you have so much more time freedom, and life doesn't suck.
For sure. You know, you just said working for yourself. This is still all part of the same question of who you are. What do you do working for yourself?
I guess you could say I'm like a serial entrepreneur, if you will. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Like when I was in middle school, I was the guy, I would order the pizza and then I would sell the slices individually. You know, just so I could have a free pizza. Like, I wasn't trying to make a profit. I was like, you guys pay for the pizza and then I get some of it for free. Like, that was my whole.
Did you take in candy and trade it with other kids for like higher end candies?
Oh yeah. I mean,
good for
beef
you.
jerky, like all of it. Nice. I sold, you know, we lived in an apartment at a golf course, and I would, you know, like collect the golf balls and sell them back to the people.
You're a smart man.
I sold tadpoles as a kid. If they had legs, they cost more. Yeah.
Did you do the lemonade stand?
Oh yeah, totally.
What about lawn care? Did you go like yard to yard? Hey, I'll cut your grass.
I did.
I like this guy.
So I am curious though. So you have your own business, I guess. So you're an entrepreneur. What is your business? Like, what do you have any specific details of what it hits?
I have several irons in the fire. So in my 20s, I was a network vice president for the state of Oklahoma for a legal and identity theft protection company. And so I built up a book of business. We sold employee benefits to different accounts across Oklahoma. And so I get a percentage of those accounts as long as they're active. And then now I don't want to do that anymore because, you know, servicing employee benefit accounts at a school is like in August. That's like prime hiking season. So I just have other agents go service the accounts for me. And since I set them up to begin with, I get a split. I get a percentage of it.
Cool.
That's one of them. We have an Airbnb in our basement. I've always had a garage apartment in every house that we've ever lived in. I wrote a book. I have some storage rental units. I've had several different businesses, you know, that failed. I've lost some money. I've made some money. But I guess you could say I'm more risk loving than risk averse.
And I want to talk about the that authorship later on too, because I'm pretty interested in what book you wrote and what it covers.
It was about the Pacific Northwest Trail. Jeff Quagmire says it's relatable to any thru hiker because it's not just focused on the FKT and the push, but also like the beauty of the trail. And I think there's some pretty funny parts in it too, because I mean, I was chafing so bad that I had to take my clothes off. I was hiking naked, hence, you know, hiking in the buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, I got caught multiple times.
Dude, the P&T, not that we've done it, but I've read a lot on it because I know we'll do it at some point. But that's not an easy trail? Like I've read you bushwhack some of that, and it's a little crazy.
I think people make it sound harder
do
than
they?
it actually is.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some bushwhacking, but the longest real actual bushwhack is only like 5 or 6 miles.
Oh, okay. It's not like, okay.
Usually the bushwhacks are like a mile long. Now, depends on what you call a bushwhack. Those are the real bushwhacks. Like there's some, like, have you ever been on a trail that's extremely overgrown? You can't even see the trail, but there is a trail.
We don't call that bushwhacking.
That's not bushwhacking.
Yeah, no.
But that's a lot of what the PNT is. It's a lot of overgrown, unmaintained, not very well marked. I think, like in Montana, there's a lot of PNT signs. But I was eastbound, so I started on the Pacific Ocean because I started based off tides because the first 40 miles of it is on the coast, and so I wanted a good tide day for my FKT. And I think the first PNT emblem that I saw was like 260 miles in.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
So many thru hikers now would not know what to do. We're way too cushiony with our apps and our and our trail signs.
We were complaining in the high Sierras because we couldn't see any trail signs. We're like, what would we even do if we didn't have far out?
We were like, we'd have to figure it out, but man, we're way too cushioned.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
GPS will spoil you.
I know.
It does.
I know. Gosh. I remember when we used to drive without an app or a phone, it was just paper maps. And you'd have
MapQuest.
or you like have to write, I used to, because we're old enough to have driven without phone apps or even a phone. But I used to buy a paper map for a road, and I would highlight the road of which I knew we were going on, the interstate or the highways, and then it helped see like, okay, so we're going to be on Highway 285 now. Okay. And we're going to turn left. It was like it was like a little adventure with the paper map, but no more.
I think you paid a lot more attention to the road back then.
You did.
Because you had to.
Yeah.
I killed a lot of trees printing out MapQuest routes. And I would definitely watch my my odometer a little bit closer than I do now.
Yeah, I'd be like, 8.7.
I miss turns even when my GPS is on now.
Yeah. Same.
Definitely.
That's how lazy we get.
Oh.
Have you ever gotten crazy lost on any of these trails?
Crazy lost?
Yeah.
No. On the PCT, I took a wrong turn a couple different times, but I usually realized within like a 1/10 of a mile and was able to easily correct. Because the PCT is so well worn. It's like if it's not an extremely well worn trail, you're like, wait, time out.
Yeah, where am I?
Yeah.
This must not be the trail.
Yeah. On the PNT, there was one time I was in the middle of a lightning storm, and it's raining hard, and so I can't like even operate my phone. You can't because you can't use the touch screen in the rain or when it's cold. And I'm coming up to trail junctions, and there's no marker, so I have no which way to. I don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
But I'm like trying to get off this mountain to get away from the lightning. Like there's like one boom, like not even a full second in delay. And I was just guessing. I was like, it feels like Upper Priest Lake is to the right, so I'm gonna go right.
I love that. It feels like it's this way.
Your nuggets were going off.
Yeah, I didn't go the wrong way. I went
Look
the
at
right
that.
way.
You listened to that gut, and it led you the right way. I love that.
The gut told me to stay in that cave, though. So.
Oh man, it could have been worse if you left the cave.
We'll never know.
We will never know.
We'll never know.
But I will say, hurricanes, though. I was born in Florida. We both grew up in the deep South. And hurricanes, I know people joke about them a lot, in those areas because quote unquote, it's, nothing ever happens. But like, we went through some crazy hurricanes growing up and trees just completely falling, floods happening. And, you have 100-mile-an-hour winds happening. Like, it was just pretty insane to think about. Yeah. We don't have them in Colorado, but I remember as a kid being like, oh my gosh, is a tree going to hit our house? Like, because it was knocking over like 150-year-old oak trees. Like, it was nothing. And yeah, hurricanes they can be scary, but I think it's a good call that you stayed in the cave, even though I know that knocked like 2 days off of your FKT. I read your whole FKT.
Yeah.
I was literally like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, I was like, this is insanity.
And we followed Josh Perry's and his whole reroute around Mount Jefferson or whatever that was. And he
The
didn't beat
Lion's
Tim
Head
Olson.
closure, bless. Yeah, that wasn't fair.
Yeah, the whole Tim Olson record thing. That was,
But,
beautiful ways.
But yeah, no. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so we kind of know your backpacking history now. You started out with day hikes. I'm sure you appreciated nature at least before you ever did day hikes. And now you probably have a group thread going with Josh Perry and Jeff Garmeyer and all the other FKTers of the world. Do you want to ask the fourth question here?
I thought you were about to ask it because you were teed up.
This is a great tee up then. Just walk us through your PCT FKT. You don't have to hit every single point, but if you want to do like the highs and the lows, and like just what some of the gear is that you took with you.
All right, so that's two questions in one. I guess I'll start with the gear.
Okay.
Just because so I can like rattle off a list. So I had a Nashville bridge pack, which they call their Cutaway 20 now. It's a 20-liter. I love that pack.
You carried a 20-liter backpack with you.
Yeah, it was hard to fit. So a lot of times I would do 250-mile food carries just to make sure I was only resupplying at places close to the trail.
Okay.
How did you fit?
Yeah, it was difficult at times. So I had a 10,000, 40,000 on the inside of the bag, 10,000 on the outside of the bag because I was eating 10,000 calories a day. And I had an extension strap made for the top closure because sometimes I couldn't close the bag completely.
A 20-liter bag. Yeah, I get it.
I mean, that makes sense when you're carrying that much. Like pretty much your bag was just food.
It was. I mean, it was 6.5, 7 pounds of gear, I think. May have been 7.5. I think my normal base weight's 6.5, but I took extra stuff because I had an ankle injury and I was nervous. So I took like an ankle kit with me.
Okay.
But yeah, it was 4 to 4.5 pounds of food a day. So, yeah, I was at 35 pounds at resupplies at times.
Now, what was your base weight gear?
A Nemo switchback sleeping pad cut down. So it was only like 4.8 ounces. Z-Packs pocket tarp with doors. I had a Bora bivvy, 30-degree quilt, a $1 emergency poncho, a light and equipment, Torrid jacket, Topo MT4s because that's the cheapest shoe that Topo makes.
Okay.
And then I think I'd like scrounged up all my old hiking socks, even ones that had holes in them, because I wanted a fresh pair of socks every 100 miles, and then I was just throwing them away when I was done.
I bet they were blown out every 100 miles too, weren't they?
Yeah, they were awful.
I'm sure.
I mean, that was every 2 days.
Yeah. I've got two questions about gear here. You said a 30-degree quilt. What name was that? What brand?
UGQ.
Okay. And then what headlamp did you use? Because you're doing a lot of your hiking in the dark, so you need a good one.
The Nightcore NU25.
Nice.
Which I lost on day 7. And I didn't get another headlamp until Donner Ski Ranch at mile 1500.
That was my question, because when I read your FKT report, it says lost my headlamp. Like, I love reading these out loud because literally I'll go piss blood, lost my headlamp,
tore my quad.
Like, it's literally like, if I could read it out loud, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like, you're like, what the, like, this isn't even real, right? And then no, it's a real person and a real experience. But when you lost your headlamp, I was like, is he just wandering in the dark? Like, what's happening here?
So so your phone has a flashlight as well.
Sure.
Oh, true.
And I actually had 2 headlamps, but only one headband.
Okay.
So I would like swap it between the headlamps. So I only had to carry the weight of one band, but I lost the headlamp that had the band. So I can't use my other headlamp attached to my head. I'm like having to like put it in my mouth. I actually got pretty efficient at it. I could change the brightness with my teeth. So like if it got like really dark and I couldn't see which way to go, like just bite like twice, and then it would get really bright, and then bite it again, and it would go back to dim to preserve battery power.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You used a headlamp in your mouth. How many days was it though? Because you were Donner Pass. I know I should pull up your FKT log because it's so just Insanity.
You know, honestly, there's some stuff that happened in the desert that I did not put on that log.
Really?
That I was not comfortable sharing with for a while.
Mm.
Okay, people know that my week in the High Sierra was hard.
Yeah.
You know, because that's where I thought I was going to lose my toe to gangrene. I was
Yeah.
pissing blood for 3 days, the quad, the hurricane. But honestly, the desert was harder. I was just falling apart. Like, literally falling apart.
Yeah, you're coming to a close and yeah.
Was it also partly because of the desert heat as well?
Yes and no. I actually was kind of blessed because the hurricane cooled things off, and it actually raised the water table. So there was for the desert, there was a decent amount of water for it being August.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember exactly what it was. Day 7 that I lost the headlamp, but let's just say 1,500 miles divided by just 50. Then that's day 30. So from day 7 to day 30.
Let's just say it was like 23 days with like using it in your mouth.
I bet that was a sight to see to anyone coming across you in the woods.
It wasn't always in my mouth. It was only in my mouth if I needed to use my hands for something else.
But I like to imagine it in your mouth the entire time.
Yeah, that's what I'm totally seeing. Is it's just like there as you're hiking. Okay, we did equipment gear. But we do this thing Wesley and I do whenever we're on a trail where we'll ask each other what are your highs and lows. And so what were your highs and lows of the PCT?
Man, the first 1,000 miles was pure bliss. It was like heaven. I mean, I was cruising. I was doing 55, 56, 57s, having an absolute freaking blast. It's the most beautiful trail I've ever been on. I mean, passing a giant volcano like every day for a week, Rainier and then Adams, and then Hood and Jefferson, like every freaking day, like amazing. And then when I crossed, 1,248 miles, and I don't remember exactly. I think it was like in 23 days or something like that. But basically, it was the length of the Pacific Northwest Trail at 5 days faster than I did the Pacific Northwest Trail in. Mm-hmm. And I was still feeling good, like still having a good time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy crap, dude, I freaking got this. I'm cruising. Oh, my gosh. Because after the P&T, I was hurting so bad, I literally crawled across the parking lot to the car. That's how bad my tendonitis was. I'm crawling as my wife is humming Chariots of Fire. Yeah.
What a supportive wife, though. That's amazing.
I feel like that's exactly what I would do in that situation.
It is.
I like her.
Yeah. And she filmed it too. So
if you have a video of this, I'd love to see it, to be honest.
Remind me when we're done. I'll send it to you.
Yes, please and thank you.
Yeah.
So you were saying that like everything was really great and you were cruising, so you were really surprised how well it was going.
I was really nervous that I was going to have tendonitis halfway through and that I was going to be in pain for the last. And like tendonitis is severe pain. Like I'll take the torn quad over tendonitis any day.
Yeah.
Muscles heal fast. Tendonitis does not.
Yeah.
So I was real nervous that I was going to have to be in excruciating pain for, 1,200, 1,500 miles. And I got, maybe it was all the work and all the strength training I did. I was trying to be extremely proactive to prevent that. And so I never had that pain. I had a lot of other pains. But I think it was the night after Donner Ski Ranch. I mean, I had many blisters, but I had this one that was pretty gnarly. Did you guys see a picture of it?
No.
Is it on your Instagram?
It is on my Instagram. It was of my toe. My worst blister was on my toe. So it's not the first picture on my Instagram because I didn't want to give anybody. I didn't want to gross anybody out. Yeah. So if you go on my Instagram, go find the photo of me with my shirt off post PCT, like how skinny I was, and then scroll through those photos, and you'll see my picture of the toe.
Oh my God!
It looks like something on a corpse, is what it looks like. It's horrible.
It looked like it was dying.
Oh. Okay. Anyone listening, you need to go to nick.fowler.says.hi. And you can find it under there where he's got his pictures post PCT. And that's the first picture is seeing him like before and after. So you scroll on that and you will absolutely find it.
And if you go to the very last part, you'll see me pissing blood.
Oh God. I just saw, I mean this. Oh God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It looks like Gatorade.
It looks like red Gatorade.
Oh my God.
Your toe doesn't even look like a human toe.
How did you even walk on that thing?
Yeah, so this is like where it all started falling apart. Like the day before Donner Ski Ranch, I woke up puking at like 3 a.m. And then I had dizzy spells throughout the day. So these were my first midday trail naps. And just because I was so dizzy, I had to stop and take a break. And then after Donner Ski Ranch, that's when I took that picture of my toe. I was seriously concerned I might lose it to gangrene for a couple days. And then I started peeing red to dark brown for 3 days. And then I tore my quad. Jeez. And then the hurricane hit. And then the day after the hurricane, I got swept down a creek in a crossing. And then I lost my footing in 3 more creeks throughout the day, getting completely soaking wet right as the sun was setting. So thank goodness my puffy jacket is synthetic, because I just put my jacket over my wet clothes, and I was like, I'm just going to have to rely on my body heat to dry my clothes out overnight.
Golly.
And then crossed Forester Pass the next morning. The day I got back to the desert, the next day, I started peeing red again. And I got so emotional, I thought I was going to have to quit. Because I was at risk. I mean, everyone was telling me that I had rhabdo. I don't know if I had rhabdo or not. Like, it could have been anything. But people were telling me that I would have permanent kidney damage and if I didn't stop. Oh. And I was like, dude, you don't know how much I put into this. Like, I only have 700 miles left. I'm not quitting. So at that point, I was like, I'm not putting any of this online. I just have to freaking get through this. Gotcha. Like, I just have to finish. And then as I was going through the aqueduct section, it was so hot, and I guess I was so dehydrated, like my hands locked up in the heat, so I couldn't even like open my water bottle lids. Then the next day, this is something that I've been embarrassed about, so I haven't really shared with anybody, many people, especially not on a podcast, but I guess it's about to come out. Since it's my anniversary of the cave, and I'm trying to move past that. I got a freaking hemorrhoid with 400 miles to go. And I had to freaking finish with that. Oh. Then I went through Mission Creek. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about Mission Creek, what happened to it after the hurricane.
Yeah, it got disheveled. Like, yeah, it was completely a mess.
Completely annihilated. But I went through it in the dark, in the rain, with a whiteout fog. I couldn't see how far down the washed out cliffs were. Like, literally, you're walking on the trail, and then the earth is gone. Oh my God. I can show you guys pictures of the trail, and then it's just black because it's gone. Like, and I can't see how far down the cliffs are. So thank goodness I have a canyoneering experience and I'm not too afraid of heights, but I'm climbing down these cliffs in the rain, in the dark, in my $1 emergency poncho. The fresh earth is crumbling underneath my fingers. I fall, I don't know how many times. And then finally I got to another cliff and I couldn't see where to go and I couldn't see how far down it was. And I gave up. I was like, I'm going to get hurt. So I decided to just sleep there in the rain. By the way, I had lost one trekking pole and I had broken my remaining, so I had no way to pitch my tarp. So I just slept in the rain, soaking wet and cold all night until I woke up around 1:30, realized that the fog was gone and the rain was gone so I could continue. Then the next day I crossed San Jacinto, an amazing freaking sunset, the clouds setting above the clouds as if like the clouds were an ocean. The next day I ended up stopping at 8:30 p.m. because, quote unquote, my feet hurt. That's my second biggest regret of out there. Because I was so close to the end. I was only 3 days away. And then I tried to make up for my regrets by starting at like 1:30 in the morning the next day. I was so tired. I ended up taking like 3 trail naps. I stopped at 9:30 p.m. And then my last day was a half day. And I mean, I was so fried. I was tripping over the smallest rocks in the trail. Like I would try to run, but it was all I could do just to walk.
Yeah.
And I mean, my hands became bloody from falling on my hands over and over and over again. And then never thought I'd think that the wall at the border of Mexico was beautiful, but oh my gosh, then I could see that wall and I was like, oh my gosh, like there's the end. And the closer I got to it, eventually, I'm a few hundred yards away from it. And I can see Hannah standing next to the monument. And then like, as I'm approaching, she like runs to me with her arms open and we hug and we pause. And then I realize I'm not done yet. I haven't touched the monument. So I push her out of the way and I like hobble over to it as fast as I can. I touch it. I snap a picture. So I have a timestamp of the finish. And then went back to her. We hugged again. I cried on her shoulder, and I was done. And hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but also the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Mm. I bet a day doesn't go by where you don't think about it.
I think about it every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to redo.
Yeah.
You want to do it again?
I want to
You
redo.
want to FKT self-supported in the time frame you knew you could do it in?
Yes and no. I originally wanted sub 50 days. Now I want a little bit faster.
You're like 45.
Goodness. You were a
'Cause you were
different breed of
52.
human. And I do want to kind of, I guess, sympathize with you a little bit, because every time we've done a thru hike after we finished, I've gotten hemorrhoids. And it's a pain in the ass. Like
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I've never experienced it during a trail. So that has to be like next level uncomfortable.
Yeah. And think you're completely exhausted.
Yeah.
So freaking fried. Like I was so depleted. And then, I'm still trying to average 53 miles a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
The desert was really hard.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be easy. I was very frustrated. I was like, the desert is supposed to be easy right here. I've hiked the desert before. It was smooth when I did it.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard?
Desert Jesus really came in
Desert
play
Jesus.
for that. You needed some miracles.
I mean, I had people like tell me, well, he is kind of turning water into wine.
I mean, you were. You're pissing clear to red.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Man,
what a journey.
I bet your wife looked like an angel from heaven down there at the terminus, didn't she?
I was going to say, did you lose it?
Oh, I lost it. I mean, the second half of the PCT, I've never cried so much before in my life.
Yeah.
I cried every single day. I mean, I was laughing while crying at the same time. I was like, wait, am I laughing or am I crying? Which one is it? Make up your mind.
Ooh, that brings up another question in me. So in therapy, I'm not a therapist, but I did a lot of therapy, and I love therapy. I think it's a beautiful way in which we need to mentally release things in our body and all that kind of stuff. But EMDR, I don't know if you've heard of EMDR, but it's it's like it works. And for those of you listening, technically, when I had started trauma therapy back in my late 20s, I started ultra running, and my therapist was like, oh, this is perfect for you because it's EMDR. You're literally getting out things inside of you when you're walking or running. And so, and you start to process out of your body. So for people who don't understand, your chemicals release from your brain, they get stored in your body when you have trauma happen from literally could be in the womb to now. And EMDR is a way of movement. It's just literally both of your brain sides, like right brain, left brain, working together and being able to activate and release the chemicals that are inside of your body. And so things start coming up, things start coming out. You start crying for no reason. You're like, why all of a sudden does my chest feel so intense? And then all of a sudden a memory pops in, and then you start crying because you realize, oh my gosh, this happened to me when I was 7 years old. And so for EMDR, that's kind of like a high level nutshell idea. But Nick, I'm curious because that's literally what you're going through all day, every day. Did you have any crazy euphoric, not even euphoric, but just moments of your life where you things started just clicking and popping, where you're going, oh my gosh, I was made this way, or wow, I remember when this happened and now it all makes sense?
Not in that sense, no. I kind of wish the answer was yes.
It's okay. I was just curious. Yeah, it could be no.
I just can't even begin to describe how fried I was.
Yeah.
I think my body had gotten to the fight or flight mode, and it realized that I was not stopping. And so it had to cut off certain things. I think I stopped feeling pains in certain areas. It's a wonder I finished. I had people in Northern California, the halfway mark, that were after when I finished, they were like, dude, I didn't think you were going to make it. You look pretty rough. I even took notes. I took notes because I wanted to write another book about the PCT. And I can't even tell you how many times people were like, are you okay? And they didn't know I was on an FKT. They didn't know who I was. Because again, I'm just a nobody that's obsessed with the West. And But yeah, there was I mean, I had people like trying to offer me rides. Like, hey, I mean, like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm just really tired. And they're like, do you need a ride? Like, you can take a rest at my house. We can go back to the trailhead. And I'm like, no, I have to keep going.
You're like, I can't do that. I'm not allowed. I can't.
Like, I'm riding on these 2 feet, baby.
You should just be like, no, Desert Jesus says no to temptation.
That's amazing.
We are planning on hiking the AZT this December, January. We are hoping, there's not too much crazy snow. Not like we deal with snow all the time. But, we want to try to put in some miles as best we can. But we heard you did this as well. And you did it in full on snow with snowshoes and all that good stuff. So will you talk to us about your AZT hike?
And I want to, sorry to cut you off. I just want a quick preface. This is how we found Nick in the first place. Someone directed us to you through Facebook because we were talking about doing the AZT in winter. And then we heard your name, and then we found all of your Instagram profile. And that's what has led us to this point in this interview. So this AZT is like the culmination of our connection right here.
It's true.
Yeah.
Arizona Trail is a beautiful trail. So I originally did it as an ankle recovery hike. Remember I told you that I was having ankle issues?
Yeah.
The previous year, my ankle was popping out of place on a daily basis. Like if I would run 20 miles, it would pop out of place.
Ouch.
And so, I mean, I was doing like this, 3-step program to heal my ankle. And it was like, if anything came about that even might possibly be able to help my ankle, I was doing it. So it eventually evolved into like a 21-step program, like some really hokey pokey stuff, like, like crystals and stuff. But I was like, anything, I'll do anything. And so it was an ankle recovery hike. I told myself I wouldn't do like more than 30 miles a day. I wore an ankle brace every single day. If it ever started to bother me, I would stop and take a break, apply creams, or I had like an infrared laser light with me and everything. Day one, I think it was March 3rd. And day one, I was post-holing to my knee on Miller Peak.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good God.
I told you, babe. That's the
snowshoes.
southern.
In snowshoes.
That's the southern.
No, I didn't have snowshoes at that point.
Not then. Okay.
Because that's the southern terminus. That's the first one you climb from the southern terminus going Nobo, right?
Yeah, day one, I was post-holing to my knees.
Fun times.
That's what I was saying is there's still there's high mountains on the south. Yeah, anyway, keep going.
Arizona Trail is not flat.
No, not at all.
There are flat sections, but there's also big mountains.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, the rest of the trail, I've hit minimal snow until the Mogollon Rim.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, cruisy, easy, hiking. But once I got to the Mogollon Rim, that's where everyone else was stopping. Like, because as soon as you got up on top of the rim, there was like 4 feet of snow. Signs were buried. And like everyone that was in front of me were basically stopping there. So I had gotten reports. Okay, that's where I need snowshoes. I had never snowshoed before, but
they only help.
It's
out
always
so
a first. And there was always a first for everything.
Yeah.
Right. I did a lot of firsts last year. The Hayduke Trail was the first time I ever pack rafted too. But so I got my snowshoes. The only thing I tried them on in my living room. I just knew I was going to need them on the Arizona Trail at some point because it was such a high snow year. And I was like, had Hannah on standby, mail this to me when I know where I need them. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I got up on there on the Mogollon Rim and my first day snowshoeing, I did like 25 miles. And I was like, holy crap. That was some work.
It takes.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I had several nights in the teens. I had a 7-degree night, and I only had that 30-degree quilt. I had a real rough night. Like, I basically quit. I was like, I can't do this. Like, this is not Nick stupid. This is just plain stupid.
Yeah. What months are you doing this, by the way?
This was in March.
In March, okay.
Yeah.
Holy mother. I mean, you had to have been freezing out there.
It was bad. Like it was not, I was like, this isn't type 2 fun. This is type 3 fun.
Wait, explain type 3 fun really fast.
And so I got to a road crossing, hiked over, by the Blue Ridge campground, or I don't know if you guys know about it yet, but by the Blue Ridge campground on the Mogollon Rim, just a little bit east of there is a ranger station.
Okay.
So I walked over to the ranger station and they made me like a hot cup of soup. And I basically like, they were like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I don't know if I can make it to Flagstaff at this pace in snowshoes. And so I quit. I got off trail. Park ranger was so freaking nice. She took me back to her house in Strawberry. I stayed the night with her. She cooked me a hot meal. And then the next day I was like, you know what? That wasn't so bad.
I'm fine.
Let's get back out there.
With a belly of hot food, yeah.
Yeah.
A nice, comfortable bed and hot food will do wonders.
So I finished. I ended up snowshoeing 220 miles with no tracks in front of me. I mean, it was like Narnia. It continued to snow on me. Couldn't see anything. Sometimes I was following the trail. Sometimes I wasn't. One time I actually like saw like this little mound of snow. And I was like, I wonder if there's like a trail marker post under that. So I dug it out, and sure enough, it was an Arizona trail sign.
No way.
I dug out. Yeah, I was like, I'm heading the right way. When I got to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, I could touch the peak of roofs.
Oh my God.
Like snow was up to the edges, like the bottom parts of roofs.
Yeah.
But like it was so high that I could touch the peak of it.
Wow. Wait, did you, because I know that in the Grand Canyon, like you've got that crazy downhill and climb. Did you do that or did you have to go around?
Oh no, yeah, I did that. So the North Rim had been washed out. The North Kaibab Trail had been like washed out in some places from like all the snow melt. And so they were like warning hikers not to go. But when I got there, I was like, they're like warning me, you can't go. I'm like, but is it closed? Mm-hmm. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna go.
Okay.
And once I got to the section, I knew why they were warning people. Like there was literally no trail on the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
And I had to tiptoe, like and like hold on.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
They closed the trail the next day.
They're like, some hiker did it. We have to close this trail.
Like this crazed guy is gonna get people killed.
Wait, did you have spikes at least, or?
Well, my snowshoes had crampons on them.
They were okay, because I mean I know there's some snowshoes that like they have crampons, but they're okay. Like mine are like I would never take them doing that because they're not good enough for. I mean they're okay.
Well,
I wasn't going to carry both.
Yeah.
I was only going to carry one.
Well, there are Flatlander snowshoes, there are climbing snowshoes, and then there's like the runners, which wouldn't do you much good out there probably. Have you seen the runners? They're kind of like foam, and they're not very large.
I can't imagine them working.
No, I can't either. I don't even know why they're a thing. So you
definitely not for me. I'm a big guy. I weigh 200 pounds. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe if you weigh like 120.
Maybe, yeah.
You know?
What snowshoes did you use?
MSR Evos.
Okay.
Isn't that what you have?
No, I've got the Symbiotes.
Oh, the symbiotes, but they're the MSRs. They're super. They're not MSRs.
No, it's some French brand.
Oh, they're super intense. I thought they were MSRs. Never mind.
Yeah, they're nice though. Wow, so over 200 miles in snowshoes.
220.
God, I cannot even imagine. What was your average pace on the AZT? Do you remember?
I ended up taking first 0 days I've ever taken in my life was on the AZT. I took 4 of them. I waited out a storm in Pine because it was snowing up on the Mogollon Rim. I already knew it was going to be tough, and I was like, well, I at least want to wait till the storm passes before getting up there. And I get up there, and it's still storming.
Yeah.
Of course.
But all in all, I mean, I did it from March 3rd to April 3rd, so I think that's 25 miles a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Including even with the zeros factored in.
Okay.
Wow, so right at a month. That's amazing.
We're because clearly we're not like FKTers or anything, but we are looking at. So we want to start at the beginning of December. A lot of this is contingent because Wesley's got classes that end, and then he begins middle January again. So we're trying to do it in 5 weeks. And we know because of living in Colorado, like even in the high mountains, the snow isn't crazy solidified yet, and it hasn't fully come in. So we're really trying. We're going to go Sobo and try to get through that section all the way through for those 200 plus. Seeing if we can do it without snowshoes, because I don't know. If you got 2 feet, you're fine. But like in the high mountains of Colorado, we don't need our snowshoes until about, I don't know, January-ish, middle January into January.
Yeah, we're just trying to get through the Grand Canyon and off the the Mogollon Rim as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Is really our goal.
Hopefully, yeah. We're trying not to hit too much snow so we can move through it. So that's the hope.
Do you think we can do it in 5 weeks, Nick Fowler?
100%.
Okay, thank you. I needed to hear that. I really did.
He needed motivation. So when we're out there, he'll be like, Desert Jesus said, we can do this in 5 weeks.
I'm going to need a postcard from you to give me some written motivation.
I mean, you could even take some 0 days and be fine in 5 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
It's because of me. I'm slow. I am a slow turtle.
Well, how many miles do you guys usually average a day?
Well, we did 20-25s by the end. We could have done 30s. We just didn't want to. We chose not to.
Yeah, see, you'll be fine.
Okay.
We could do 20s now, and we haven't even done anything crazy in the last few months.
So in my month long, so 4 weeks, and I took 4 0 days, and I think I only maybe had like 3 or 4 days that were over 30 miles. I had a couple 43-mile days, but that was because I was trying to get somewhere before a storm happened or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
we're trying. We're gonna. I'm really have a goal that my base weight is going to be less than 10 pounds in winter. I know.
That's impressive.
And I think we think we've got it because we've been fine tuning this shit in Colorado for 2 years now. But a Thermarest 20 degree with a fleece sea to summit. We're gonna test this out though before we leave. Clearly in Colorado as it gets colder. But it should equal out to a 0 degree, which in total is like a pound, 2 ounces, I think.
Yeah, it's not
for
too
like
crazy.
a 0 degree feel.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
So stay tuned for that one.
I'm excited.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks. We're excited. I have been itching to do a trail. He did the CT last year. I haven't done one since the PCT. We've done like smaller ones or like 60 milers or whatever. But I'm like, I have to get out of this cotton world and disconnect and get a backpack and get outside. Like
we need mini goals for ourselves, and this is one of those.
Yeah.
When did you say you're going to start again?
Beginning of December. We're not sure on the date, but I always said it's better to start earlier before the snow starts getting in there. Yeah. So we'll see.
At the latest, December 6th is like the day that we're on trail starting.
December 8th.
Nice. Something like that.
Something like that.
So I've actually had quite a few discussions with people that live on the Arizona Trail this year because I'm planning on hiking it in October. And yeah, not the same way I did it last year. Just trying to find out, okay, when does snow come in? The discussions I've had with people that live at the Grand Canyon, it's like the snow patterns keep getting pushed back. So, and I mean, she even mentioned like you might not have snow in December. So yeah, you guys might be fine. If you get your first handful of snows aren't going to be,
it's going to melt
detrimental.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we're hoping, because that's what happened in Colorado this last year is we actually didn't start getting our big dumps until January. And so I was like, dude, we can do this. If the snow comes in late, we'll be set.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the whole trail to yourself, and it's going to be stupid pretty.
It's going to be amazing.
Raise the roof.
Yeah. Last year we were down there and there was snow around Jacobs Lake in late November. But if you look at the snow tell data, like the snow doesn't really reach big depths until February, March, April, like right when you were doing it. So.
Yeah, it was really, it's funny too, because people were trolling the shit out of us when when Wesley first posted his AZT question, because we're just trying to gather data. Like, we just want to know what you guys are experiencing. Where do we need to figure out our resupplies for winter times? Like, what's closed? What are we looking at? Because we don't know. We don't live there. But we do know winter snow. Like, this is like our world, like we live in the mountains of Colorado and we live in one of the highest snow levels. Like, I think we got 6 to 8 feet of snow average last year in Breckenridge. It just never stopped snowing. But people would be so mean to us and it was just one of those things where it's like,
those are the couch warriors. Like, you will never be criticized by someone doing more than you. It's only the couch warriors that are trolls.
It's true.
So true.
And they usually don't have a profile picture of their actual face. It's like a caricature or some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Usually.
Oh, Facebook and the whole world of through hiking Facebook pages are so
Yeah.
interesting. They're helpful.
I mean, there's
you know,
definitely
but-
fear mongering, but some really good does come from it. We've connected with some great people. I mean, we were pointed in your direction, so like definitely some good leads come from these Facebook groups. It's not all trolls and fear mongering. So
Oh
That's
no,
true.
yeah. I mean, I'm on any Facebook group of a
heck yeah.
trail that I want to hike because there is great information and people know the trail, and you just have to take everything with a grain of salt because
You do.
Right.
I mean, I was on the Colorado Trail a few weeks ago, and I didn't know what to expect of the afternoon thunderstorms. Like I was actually a little bit nervous that I might have like PCT hurricane flashbacks. So I'm like asking on this group, like, okay, you know, what are these Colorado monsoons? I'm from Oklahoma, where when it rains like nonstop for like 3 days straight. Like, you know, is it gonna? They're like, no, it's the lightning, and I'm like, I'm not concerned about the lightning. I just don't want to be in a massive amount of rain where you might have to hide in a cave for 40 hours. And no one understood what I was asking, and everyone just kept saying, I'm like, I don't care about the lightning. So I actually went up to the Colorado Trail high point specifically at noon to force myself to be in a storm and see what it was like. That was the most fun I've had all year. It was amazing.
The lightning storms in Colorado are like a game. It's just like a video game.
Yeah. I mean, the hail's a little bit painful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a blast. Probably one of the coolest pictures I've ever taken. I got a photo of lightning.
Dude,
The coolest picture I've taken all year.
Really?
we've got to get some of these pictures from you.
Seriously, would you mind sharing some of them? We do have a Patreon where we like to post if people are okay with it, just to share with people that are on there.
Yeah, no problem. Just remind me what you want.
Yeah, sure.
We'll do.
What I want right now is to know what the title of your book is called.
There it is.
And what it's about. You said it's about the PNT, right?
Yeah, it's Itch, Pacific Northwest Trail Story. And the book is about the Pacific Northwest Trail FKT, but it's really about the PCT. Because that's where my itch to hike the Pacific Crest Trail faster than anyone has ever done began. And then before I was able to attempt in 2021, you know, the Dixie Fire happened. So I made a last minute decision to change to the Pacific Northwest Trail instead of the Pacific Crest Trail. And dude, I had no idea what I was doing. It was my first through hike. I was so stupid.
We all are on our first through hikes. Come on.
Did you like writing the book?
Yes. So I actually originally wrote it as a way to remember the trail and process the trail. And then I shared it with a few other people and they're like, dude, Nick, you should publish this. And I'm like, okay. You know, it kind of fits my theme of, you know, entrepreneurship, I guess, if you will. But it was not easy by any means. I have the most respect for all authors because it is a freaking ton of work. It was easier for me to set the FKT on the PCT than it was to publish this book.
Yeah.
I'd say that without any hesitation. And we've already discussed how hard the PCT was.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done the math. Like on my website, I have a $25 option for signed copies with like some PNT photos and like some postcards and stuff, or just $18.95 if you just want the book. And even at the $25 rate, if you pay, people are, here's how many hours I put into this. People are paying me a half a cent per hour for the work I put into this book. Cheapest labor I've ever done in my life.
Oh my god!
That's what you call a labor of love, right there.
Yeah. Well, we should go
Jeez.
get ourselves a copy. Is it audiobook too, or just physical copies?
Just physical copies, and there's a Kindle version too right now.
Okay.
I'll do an audiobook someday. But I would like to finish the PCT book first, and that's probably going to be a while because it's hard for me to describe in words what the PCT means to me.
Yeah.
No, we totally understand that. Our podcast was started to be our decompression process
For the PCT,
and it's grown over time. But yeah, if we figure out how much we've actually made on the podcast versus how much time we've put in,
we're in the
like
negatives.
Pennies to the dollar or the negatives. It's just a labor of love at this point. So yeah, we totally understand and appreciate that. And I would love to read your book.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yes.
how many pages is it?
You would think that I should know the answer to that, shouldn't I?
You should. You should.
I'll put it this way: it's a very fast read. I've had quite a few people tell me that they read it in like 1 or 2 settings.
Very cool. Okay.
Okay.
We'll
I could read it in one. I'm like an FKT of books.
Yeah. We'll have a link.
I hope it makes you laugh.
I'm sure it will. We will have a link to Nick's book in the show notes if you want to go check that out and support Nick's efforts here and possibly his next FKT attempt. But also, Nick, where can folks find you at on like social media, or do you have a website, just so they can follow along with all of your craziness?
I don't have much of a following. Again, I'm just a nobody that's obsessed with the West.
It really should be your tagline.
That's going to be the name of the episode.
It really should be your title to your PCT book.
The title to the PCT book is probably going to be Scratch.
Okay. Scratch. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do know people can find you at nick.fowler.says.hi. Nick Fowler says hi.
It's kind of amazing.
All the other Nick Fowlers were already taken.
And you said you had a website. What's your website?
pntbook.com.
pntbook.com. Got you.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. I love this question because we do have a lot of people that have never hiked but want to, or want to do a through hike and either don't even know where to start. So for these hiker hopefuls is what we like to call them. Do you have any advice for them that you can give them?
You don't have to know what you're doing, and you don't have to have nice gear. No, like seriously, like my first probably 2,000 miles was with a $20 Walmart backpack, and $50 shoes that were falling apart. If go outside with the cheapest stuff possible, if you enjoy it, the nice gear will only enhance the experience.
Right on. Yeah.
It's a good answer.
No, that's good advice, because you'll go to REI and you'll see people with like $2,000 worth of gear in their buggies, and they're just walking around. You're like, you know what they're about to do, but like, I just hope that they know what they're getting into before they drop all this money in gear, you know?
And also sometimes the most expensive gear is not the best gear. Like,
yeah.
Like my $1 emergency poncho probably was not the best thing for a hurricane, but otherwise it works better than some $300 jackets. You know, same thing with, my $40 foam sleeping pad is indestructible. It will never start leaking. The valve will never fail. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than any of those air up pads. And you don't even have to use breath to blow it up. I use an old Skippy peanut butter jar for cold soaking. Like, cheap stuff works.
Oh, you went with the Skippy instead of the Talenti jar. Okay.
because it's more cup size, and so it fits in pockets better.
Oh, you might be onto something there. Use a Skippy peanut butter jar, not a Talenti.
It
Are you sponsored by
Skippy?
Skippy?
We should have that conversation, because I would love for Dr. Pepper to sponsor me, because I probably talk about Dr. Pepper more than anything, and they're getting a lot of free advertising.
Here's what you have to do. Tag them, hashtag them, and then reach out to them with these pictures and say, hey, if you give me free Dr. Pepper on my next hike, I will tag it in the most beautiful, iconic places for you.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Look, we have some brands supporting us, and we're not even out here doing FKTs like you are.
Listen, we can help you with this, or I can help you. All we have to do is just figure out who to reach out to and say, yo, here's my resume, and I will take a picture of your Dr. Pepper in front of this beautiful, iconic vista.
I as much as I love free stuff, I also don't want to feel obligated to advertise.
Feel that.
Like, I just want to be me, and I just want to go hike, and I don't want to feel pressured to hashtag this, hashtag. Like, if you look at my posts, I don't use hashtags. Like, I don't want more people following me. Like,
you're so free.
I
appreciate that. Yeah.
No, I totally commend you, because I work in film, and so when we're on the trail, I'm like, I don't want to film anything. I don't want to take photos. I don't want to do anything. He's the one who does everything. I'm like, I'll do it for you because I love you, but I want to just completely disconnect from my phone because I'm always on my phone in the cotton world.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where even when we're in town, here lately off of like our section hikes or whatever. I'll leave my phone on airplane mode because it's nice to not have it go off, you know.
Oh, I do have a question for you before we end our rapid fire questions. But do you feel like when you are out in nature and you get back into, we call it the cotton world because it feels like, you know, yeah. Are you having, I have culture shock. Like I get very panic in traffic. I can't, like, I have to breathe through my anxiety because I'm like, this is too much now. It's like overstimulation.
Traffic pisses me off. Hannah makes fun of me often because there's no, okay, like if I'm canyoneering for a month, it's just me and a dirt road, you know? There's no traffic out there. There's no traffic on the PCT. Like, one of the reasons I FKT is because you don't have to put up with people's crap. You know? You get the whole trail to yourself. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. I feel like whenever we're not actually out hiking in the backcountry, at least once a day I say I hate people at some point, which I love people too, but at the same time it's like a love-hate because I'm sick of all the noise and the trash and just the stuff that doesn't matter, you know? So love-hate relationship there.
Absolutely.
When we got back, it was so weird because, you know, it's like, I mean, you went through far, far more superior near-death experiences than we did on the PCT. Like, I mean, but we definitely had some very scary moments that happened. And you get back and people are talking about the weirdest things. And you're like, I almost died out there. Like,
talking about stuff that does not matter.
Yeah, which I get.
It puts things in perspective.
Yeah,
it does. Because I get it. It's like they aren't going through what we went through. But what we came to find, and I don't know if you found this to be the case, but people would talk about themselves and talk about what they were going through and the stresses of their life and their work. But they would never ask us how the PCT was. Like, it was really weird. And we were like, well, we don't want to say it unless they ask.
Yeah, because we could talk for hours about it. What we found is that people, like she just said, they wouldn't ask about it. But the few who did, after about 5 or 10 minutes, they would start to glaze over because we were getting, I guess, maybe too in the weeds about what we went through, but they would just lose connection. And so we would just stop talking about it. Have you experienced that?
And I think it might even be elevated on the FKT level because, I mean, after the PCT, I mean, you hear people say they had post-chill depression. I had never experienced that until the PCT. And so it was hard for me to relate with people that had that until the PCT, but it was so bad. Like, I mean, even my wife sometimes says, I don't understand, but I understand you're going through something. Like, just thinking about the cave, or thinking about stopping at 8:30 p.m. Like, I only had 2 days left. Why didn't I push? Yeah,
real quick before we get into the rapid fire questions. So Nick has a kiddo on the way. Do you want to talk about that for like 30 seconds? Like, what is this like? What are you feeling?
Being a dad.
I'm going to get this kid lost outside. I keep imagining canyoneering and lowering this kid down on a rope into a crevasse and shouting down, "Can I fit too?" Yeah,
I see it.
Yeah, this kid's either going to love or hate outside, but it's going to be outside.
I'm excited for you. That's been the scariest thing for me is, thinking about having a kid and it changing your life and the things that you love. But, hearing from people like you and even what Marie says, having a kid, you just bring them into your passions and your activities and they can like it or not.
And so I had a friend tell me one time that there's nothing in the world that will make you more selfless than having a kid. And sometimes I do feel selfish. And so maybe it'll be a growing point for me because, I mean, like before you have a kid, your life is all about you. Once you have a kid, your life is all about the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This deep stuff.
We've kind of felt that with Loba, our husky Malamute, who feels like a child half the time because she, bless her heart, she's a lot of attention because she's a husky and she's a 1.5 years and she was adopted. Like we adopted her and she's passed through 3 homes. So she's already got massive separation anxiety. Mm-hmm. And so it's been a precursor to like, okay, because we were like, let's get a dog and see if we want kids. And then I told Wes, I was like, do we want kids? Because dear God, I cannot manage my life with a dog.
It's a lot.
But I mean, I see one kid at least in our future. He's got red hair, so I'm like, I see some ginger-haired, curly girl that's like brave. You know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a firecracker.
it'll happen, and she'll be with us on the AT. So
that'll be fun.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, rapid fire questions because I know we need to wrap this out. It's been such a pleasure getting to hang out with you, Nick. Seriously, thank you.
Yeah. We're going to do 5 of these and then we'll go into our closure. But you don't know these questions. We don't know them yet either because we didn't even write them down. So it's just whatever is coming to mind. But I have a great first question for you because I love to ask this question.
And to preface, rapid fire questions is you have to say the first thing that pops into your head. You can't think about it. Can't be a split second. It's just boom, come out. Okay.
What's the best shit you've ever taken on trail?
Damn it. That was going to be my question.
I don't know if this is the best one, but the first one that came to mind was on the PCT. So when you're eating 10,000 calories a day in an FKT, like when you have to go, you don't get much of a warning. Like you get the warning and then you have like 2 minutes to make something happen. Cause 10,000 calories a day of food equals like 10,000 calories a day of, shit. So I'm on, like when you're on a section of trail that's like has steep ledges on both sides and it's like all rock, like there's nowhere to dig a hole. And I realized there's nowhere to dig a hole. And so I found a piece of bark that served as a plate and I pooped on the plate. And then I walked down the trail with this, plate of fresh pie until I could find a place to dispose of it.
That is awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's like Domino's delivery.
Would you like my shitty pizza? Okay.
I'm so glad I didn't run into anybody.
That would have been awesome, honestly.
And awkward,
yes. Like, oh yes, I am carrying my shit. Okay, best food that you ever made for yourself on trail?
Avocado with hemp heart seeds and salsa.
Oh.
Did you dip anything with it? Like chips or anything?
No.
Nice.
Just split the avocado in half, put hemp heart seeds on it, and then drizzle the salsa packet, and then just eat it straight from the shell.
That sounds amazing.
Yummy. Okay.
Okay, third question. Does your toe look normal now?
It does. Well, that one does. I ripped my big toenail off like 3 days ago.
Oh no! Was it black?
It's hard to say because my nails were painted black.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Crap. I don't know. Hang on. I'm thinking. No. Hang on. Favorite place on any trail. What favorite memory? First one comes to mind.
Favorite memory or favorite place? Those are two very different questions.
Dadgummit. Favorite memory.
Oh, that one's harder. If you had chosen favorite place, I would have said Goat Rocks Wilderness.
Oh crap. Okay, well, favorite place. I mean, that's our favorite place too. Okay. But is there a favorite memory that's popping up in your head? I get to.
Probably hugging Hannah at the end of the PCT.
I love that.
Yes. I love that.
All right, last one. What is your worst animal encounter on any trail ever?
Define worst.
Scariest?
Near death.
Okay.
Most likely
I've never had a near death experience with an animal.
Okay, then best experience with an animal.
Probably when I almost touched a bear.
Oh.
Now, did you approach the bear and then it charged you? Is that how that all happened and went down?
Oh, the charging was a different experience.
Okay.
But that was probably the third closest bear I've been to. Yeah. First closest bear I've been to, I did approach it. I mean, but here's the thing. Like, okay, everyone that's going to listen to this podcast is going to say, this guy's a freaking idiot. Yeah, I might be an idiot. But also, there's like a mutual respect, okay? Like, I've had like probably well over 200 bear encounters. I've never been threatened by any of them. The one that charged me on the PCT, in hindsight, it was a bluff charge, okay? It was not going to attack me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've walked up to a black bear before where if I had like leaned over, I could have touched it. I talked to it gently. We made eye contact. It continued grazing. Eventually I could tell it was starting to slightly get agitated. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's back off. But, everything was slow, cordial, communicative. I had another time where a black bear ran across the trail in front of me. Again, if I had leaned forward, I could have touched it. And then the one on the PCT, it was probably 4 or 5 a.m. It was still kind of dark outside. I could tell it was a bear. And I was trying, again, I'm on the middle of an FKT, but I'm pausing my FKT to get a better view of this bear. So I'm going off trail, approaching it. It's behind a bush. I got too close to it, and I guess it got spooked because it was dark too, and so it was like, oh, and, I instinctively yelled, hey, in a roaring manner to it, and then it ran away.
Would you reenact this hey for us?
Hey!
It's very bear intimidating.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can already tell we're going to have you on the podcast at least one more time because there's so much ground to cover and we didn't get to talk about half the things we wanted to.
I know. So you're doing the AZT in October, attempting an FKT next year on the PCT. Any other trails in the books that you're thinking about?
I would really like to do the Colorado Trail someday. I would really love to do the Continental Divide Trail at some point too, but I find that one hard to fit in once I have a kid.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And if I'm going to take the time away for a long trail while having a kid, it's going to be to reattempt the PCT. That's where my heart's at.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Well, if you're ever in Colorado, please let us know. We live here and we'd love to have a tea or a beer with you. Whichever
What part of Colorado?
We're in Breckenridge right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're 2 miles from the CDT-CT. So it's literally in our backyard. It's amazing.
I'm envious. I live in Oklahoma.
Which is nuts. The fact that you're FKTing all of this. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's hot. It's humid. It's flat. It's ugly.
You guys should move to Colorado.
It's cheap. It's cheap as hell to live here.
Yeah, it's not cheap to live here.
That's the one thing we miss about Georgia is how cheap it is. The real estate, cost of living, all of it.
Yeah. Sorry, our husky clearly is demanding our attention. So
she is. Well, if you're coming through here in Colorado, hiking the Colorado Trail, and if you stay with us, you know what we're going to say whenever you stay, and then we drop you back off on trail.
Oh, no. That's not how we tee this up. He wants to do our Happy Trails ending, but first, we need to say our closing outro.
She's not gonna let
thank
me.
You, Nick, for being on the podcast and taking the time to hang out with us. We really appreciate it.
And if you don't mind putting up with us again in the future, we'll definitely have you on one more time at least.
No, yeah, I had a good time. I would do it again.
Very
awesome.
Cool. Very cool.
Well, everyone, like we always say, you can find us on our socials. You can find that in the show notes, and you can email us if you have any questions, thoughts for the podcast at yetiwalksintobasecamp@gmail.com. Caught Dom. And thank you to the Fire Once Lost for our music, our intro and outro. And to tee it up, so Nick, we always say happy trails at the very end. Oh my God, our dog in her face. See, this is what I mean right here.
She looks so happy.
So much attention.
Anyway, so we like to say happy trails, and at the very end, if you want to say it with us. But do you have anything you want to say, babe, for the end to say it?
You really killed my tea up there. So I think we're going to say it in 3, 2, 1.
Happy trails.